what's up, everybody? True Boxing here. Thank you for coming back to get hit with the truth. So today, doing my 2021 year-end top 10s as they continue, and this is the number 2 fighter in 122-pound Super Bantamweight division. He is the undefeated, unified WBA IBF champion Murodjon Ahkmadaliev, or known as MJ. MJ entered the year as the number 1 fighter at 122. He drops 1 spot, but he entered the year coming off of a 2020 where he scored the biggest victory of his career in upset when he defeated Daniel Roman to capture the unified title by a split decision victory. Nobody saw that coming because, you know, MJ really didn't have that many fights under his belt. I believe heading into that fight, he was only 7-0, you know, and he outworked Daniel Roman and got the split decision. And really, he went to the number 1 spot in the division because it was such a wide open division, and Roman was number 1 in the unified champ. So he came out of nowhere, got the win. He spent the rest of 2020 dealing with COVID, trying to secure a mandatory defense against Ryosuke Iwasa. It never happened. But in 2021, it would happen. In early April, he would take on the veteran former champ Iwasa from Japan. And, you know, I thought it was going to be a fun, competitive fight, and MJ went out there and looked sharp and looked great. He was outlanding Iwasa, hitting him with shots, and, you know, really was beating him to the punch. Iwasa had his moments. He was competitive at times, but in the 5 rounds of the fight, he was getting hit and tagged with shots, and he got stunned a couple times. Nothing major until the 5th when he got wobbled, and then, you know, after the follow barrage, the referee prematurely would jump in and stop the fight, and MJ would win by TKO in the 5th round. Now, you know, I have said this before. I believe, after watching it a couple times, that eventually with the way he was landing on Iwasa and wobbled him, he eventually was going to stop him or win a one-sided decision. You know, he was winning on points, and I just didn't see him losing anyway, so I don't think it had an effect on the outcome of the winner of the fight in MJ. So I gave that to him. I don't think he got as much credit as he you know, wanted, though, because it was stopped prematurely. But the remainder of the year, he was trying to secure a mandatory defense of his WBA number 1, which was Ronnie Rios, the veteran, former world title challenger. They almost had to fight a couple times. Finally, in November, they were scheduled to fight on a DAZN undercard, and the week of the fight, Ronnie Rios had to pull out last minute. In stepped unknown veteran Jose Velasquez, and, you know, MJ went in looking to roll over Velasquez, and he won comfortably on points, but he had to work in this fight, and he got hurt with a body shot in the 7th round. But nonetheless, he won majority of the rounds and walked away with a clean 12-round unanimous decision, and that's how he ended his year, going 2-0. But going forward, MJ sitting at the top of the division. There's a couple options on the table for him. He and Stephen Fulton have expressed interest in making an undisputed title fight. That's what everybody wants to see, but I'm leaning towards the less likely that it happens next. The reason being is Stephen Fulton likely going to have to make a mandatory defense of his 2 belts against his number 1 contender in both governing bodies, Daniel Roman. MJ is likely going to have to fight either Ronnie Rios or Azat Havanasian, and, you know, and either one of those is a good title defense for him. And to be honest, if the fight with Stephen Fulton doesn't come to fruition, he's probably going to have to fight both these guys in 2022, which is, hey, those are both really good names to get on your resume. I think he beats Ronnie Rios. I don't know about Havanasian. I think he's the favorite going in, but Havanasian is a fucking bull, and I really, really am excited to see that fight. So, real quick, the stats on MJ is he's only 27 years old. He's still young. He's 10-0 with 7 knockouts now. And the guy seems to be rolling, and he's right sitting there at the top. It's really 1A, 1B between him and Stephen Fulton for the top spot. But, you know, Stephen Fulton just did a little bit more. I think his resume is just a tad better after the 2022 that he had. But MJ is right there, and he has a big year coming in 2022, in my opinion. And if he's still champion when the smoke clears, you know, we'll see what happens. But I think the potential for an undisputed title fight with Stephen Fulton is there. And I think He's going to have to make mandatories against Havanassian and Ronnie Rios, one or the other, or maybe both. So a lot of good options for MJ in 2022, and I'm really excited to seeing what he does with those options. So we'll see what happens. But that's it. That's my number 2 super bantamweight in the world right now for my 2021 year-end top 10s, the undefeated unified champion Murodjon Ahkmadaliev. I hope you guys enjoyed it. True Boxing, you've been hit with the truth.